I don't need a road atlas. The truck driver attitude, the payment structure. These are drum brakes. I have been a truck driver for 12 years, almost 13 years. What are you doing? 5 or more things that I don't like. Hi, it's Bogdan. I'm at the end of my shift-ish. I think I have 2 hours and a half, so I'm gonna reach Winnipeg or Winterpeg or whatever you want to call it. Let me set my cruising speed of 110. And I have 5 years, since 5 years and a half almost, since I'm in Canada, North America. And I have 5 or more things that I don't like, dislike. I'm not gonna say I hate, because hate is a strong word, but I dislike. First of all, I'm gonna put some context. Ooh, fog. I'm going to put some context. Is I have been a truck driver for 12 years, almost 13 years. I drove in Europe a lot. I drove in Europe from 2011 to 18, and from 2018 to now in North America. And in Europe, I drove dry van, dry bulk tankers, I don't know, cement trucks, a lot. I drove to Norway, Sweden, anything between. Anyway, so I'm not gonna say I'm a good truck. I'm an average truck driver. Let's put it like that. And I never say I'm a professional truck driver, because for me, a professional truck driver means I have to respect the speeding. Like if the speed is 90, you drive 90. I drive 95. Or be courteous with other traffic, or like I am, and I try to be, but I do make mistakes, so I don't consider myself a professional truck driver. I tend to think I never say I'm a professional truck driver. I'm a truck driver that enjoys the job, likes the job, because I like driving a lot. Also, I have my sim rig in the back, as you have seen the video maybe. And also I love the job because I have a curious mind, and I love it that it's different every day. Like I'm driving every day, but every day, even if I drive the same road, it's different cars, different scenery, different weather, different traffic pattern, different a lot of stuff. So that's why I like it. So that's my context. And the 5 things that I dislike about North America is from my own experience. I'm not gonna say this is how the trucking industry is here overall, but this is my experience, either from my jobs that I had, people that I talked with, either drivers or dispatchers or owners, or like the sentiment that I see online. I might be wrong. I'm more than willing to learn if I'm wrong, but these are the 5 or so things that I dislike pretty strongly about North America. Firstly, and this is not in a particular order, but let's say in annoyance order. Firstly is like the truck driver attitude, especially from, at least in my experience, from non-immigrant drivers, is that, okay, the industry in North America is like the best trucking industry in the world. Like the trucks here are the best, the roads are the best, like everything is the best here in North America. I don't know how some of the guys that I talked define best, but it's not. I drove in Europe, and some aspects are better in Europe, and I can name a lot, but I'm talking about the attitude, like the ego. Oh, I'm a truck driver in Canada, or like I do the northern route in Canada, I'm the best driver in the world. Maybe, I don't know. There's not a quantifiable measure to say or not say that. So that attitude, not that I don't like, but it's like, it's difficult to, when you have that ego and you, like every other driver is below you, and it's more stupid and it's more bad because they didn't put chains like 10,000 times or stuff like that. Oh, because they didn't use a road atlas. I used in Europe when I started, but now I have GPS, and if I look at the signs, I'm good. I don't need a road atlas. Personally, I'm not judging anyone that uses one, but I'm not judging anyone that doesn't use one, unless they like get stuck. I never got stuck, so I'm good. But that attitude of like superiority, like I just don't like. I don't know. That's my experience. Again, I'm not saying this is the whole trucking industry, but my experience in these 5 years, it's that. Some truck drivers like owner operators and stuff like that are like, oh yeah, this is best ever. I don't know. Have you driven a truck in Europe to see the difference? No. Well, then the experience may vary. Second is like the payment structure. And again, in Europe, I was spoiled because in Europe, in most countries in Europe, you're paid by the hour, and when you're paid by the hour, at least the jobs that I had, the moment I left the yard, I was getting paid, like until I got back to the yard, and this includes the 9-hour, 10-hour break, because I'm in the truck. I'm not, yes, I'm resting because that's mandatory by the law, e-logs or whatever they're called in Europe, I forgot, tachographs. But I'm still in a truck, I'm still at work, I'm in the service vehicle that I work on, so I'm getting paid. And most jobs that I had in Europe, I got paid by the hour, and it was good. Coming here, paying by the mile, again, Canada's on kilometers, so like, yeah, sure, okay, miles. The paycheck for some companies, they are decent. I'm not complaining about the paycheck, but I'm complaining about the system itself. And there are gonna be a lot of people, oh, you just go to a better company. Well, not all people can do that, maybe. Since I'm an average driver, I cannot ask for that, or like in my situation, I'm on a work permit and I'm waiting for my PR. I cannot change jobs willy-nilly. Oh, I'm a good driver, I never make accidents or taking tickets. Oh, I can ask for a better pay. Well, it doesn't work like that. Since I'm on a work permit, it doesn't work like that. So I'm not saying greedy, because I'm greedy, but I'm saying the payment structure should be better. I don't know. And some people agree, some people don't agree. I don't know. But the payment structure, like, I don't like. And I've been to 2 companies, one bigger, one smaller. And also with people that I talked, is most of the companies don't pay, oh, you wait 3 hours or the truck is broken, tough luck, you're not doing miles. Or stuff like that. I'm like, brother, but I'm in the truck. It's not my fault that you don't have trips, or the truck is broken down for whatever reason. If it's broken down because I'm a shitty person, I didn't do my pre-trip or stuff like that, sure. Then I'll not ask for pay, and I'll whatever. If there's like, okay, we have to take some money because it's my fault, I crashed the truck or something, sure. But if it's not my fault, it has to be both ways. If it's not my fault, yeah, pay me for standing still. And there's probably going to be some people, yeah, my company does that. Great for you. Most of my understanding, it's that not most of the companies don't do that. That's, yeah. Another thing, and I don't know if it's perceived, this is a 2014 truck, so, but I compare it because back when I worked in Belgium for my last stint of 4 years in Belgium, I had a brand new Scania from 2014, so similar years. And in Europe, you have what you call overcab, so the engine is underneath me. And what are you doing? So the engine, because the noise, because the engine is underneath, should be a lot stronger, louder in the Europe cabs. Like again, same year, same like low to mid end specs. They didn't have like the highest Scania, like 770 or whatever the horsepower, like the full option one. it was a mid-tier. And the noise level, the noise difference is huge, like huge. When I came to North America, I was expecting, okay, the engine is gonna be in front, so it's gonna be less noisy, like it's gonna be a lot more quiet. To my surprise, it's like, holy shit, this is crazy, crazy, crazy. I drove like a 2019 Freightliner. Again, I like Volvo as a brand because my personal reasons. I'm not bashing any other brand, but it's like Freightliner. Like, getting back to that, I drove Freightliner. Driving it straight, like on a smooth road, like I'm now, very quiet. Not as quiet as that Scania, but sure, quiet. As soon as you hit a hill, at least that particular model, again, the 2019 model, Freightliner, the revs is like, what the hell is that? I don't know. For me, the noise is like, it's not acceptable in 2023. Like, I think I measured with, and this is an extreme case. Like, when I'm very heavy, both with this truck and also I had like at the previous company, I had an 860 top of the line, like air-cooled seats, everything at the previous company, like leather, everything, full option, 860. And I was doing paper from Edmonton to BC, and I think I don't know, either heavy load from BC to Edmonton, and up the Coquihalla, okay, big hill, for North America, big hill, is, and that 860, that was like a smooth truck, quiet, it had the quiet pack, it was 60 plus decibels on the app on the phone. And I'm like, this is crazy. In Europe, you, like a similar truck, it will not pass 50. And decibels are not incremental, like from 50 to 60 is not just 10, it's like a lot more. I forgot how it works, but it's a lot more. So the noise level, it's like, yeah, no, this is just too much. And there are gonna be some people, yeah, back in the day I drove like a Peterbilt and it was like, my ears were bleeding, but I'm a man, good for you. All the respect for you. We're in 2023. I like it to be a lot more quiet, if not a lot more quiet than it is now. So that's another big aspect that I don't like. Another one is like brakes. I got really baffled about this one. So I come to North America, I do my driving school, and I see when I do my pre-tip, these are drum brakes. And it was like in Vancouver, and the trainer says, yes, on a 2018 Freightliner, the school had. And I'm like, is this the lower end model, or why there are drum brakes on trucks? Well, these are most trucks here in North America. I was like, what? Why? I started driving in 2011, and my cousin started driving a lot earlier than me. And I think I read, don't quote me on this, I read somewhere, and I hope I can find the article. If I don't find it, I might be wrong, but I think I read somewhere that in Europe, all European countries said to truck builders, to truck companies, hey, you cannot sell trucks in our countries with drum brakes. This is a law passed for many, many, many years. And I come to North America and I see trucks catching on fire, either on coke, either on the big hill in LA, both sides. And it's like, this is crazy. Like, these brakes are so much better in any way, shape, or form. Like, metric wise, like measurable, they are better. Better braking, better resistance, better whatever you want. The only counterpoint that I heard from one of my previous owners from my previous company is like, he said, yeah, but disc brakes are more expensive. Okay, but then I put the argument, so my life is not worth the 4 grand, the 4 grand that it's, or 5 grand that is more expensive. And I'm sorry, disc brakes are just better, and the industry should like switch now. It's already too late. So I dislike that a lot. Like I had like a previous the 860 that I drove at my previous company had disc brakes, and they had a disc brake reefer, and that was like awesome. Now I'm back on drum brakes and drum brakes triaxle. Again, I'm not making any accidents, but it's, and also the pedal feel from drum to bed to disc brakes is way different. I don't know. It's maybe again I'm spoiled from Europe with disc brakes, but this is like nonsense for me. Another big, especially here in Canada, is the road conditions. I'm not gonna say because there are not many. At least I drive Vancouver to Toronto a lot. Winnipeg is bad at the entry. I take the 11 via Kapuskasing. So the road is decent shape, let's say. I drove up north and it was like more patchy, but not horrible. But during the winter, and again, I drove winter in Norway and in Sweden, in northern Sweden, and I carried like all 100-ton trucks with sand and powder and stuff like that. And I was driving like back roads in winter and stuff like that, and so I know winter. And they plow there. I don't know if even if there are like 2 trucks on the road, they plow. I don't know. Maybe they have more money. I don't know what's going on. Or if they don't plow, at least on my experience when I was driving in northern Sweden, like on the compacted snow, they will throw sand. And what, like both Ontario, Manitoba, and BC and Alberta, I see the snow plows, and they put sand, and they have the spinning thing. But at least what I saw in the past few winters is like they just put the sand or whatever compound is that only just to the side, to the middle of the road. And I'm like, what help is that? Okay, it's better than nothing, but shouldn't it be spinning and put all over the road? What? I don't know. It's the amount of maintenance, bad maintenance in BC, Alberta, Ontario, from my experience, is I don't know, catastrophic. I cannot describe it how in shock I am that the roads are in the conditions that they are. Okay, when there is a blizzard and they close down the highway, I fully get it. It's a blizzard. If they plow, the snow comes back in. I know. I drove North Dakota, South Dakota. I drove everywhere, and I have seen. Fair point. But when they know it's snowing, why they don't just keep the, like again, not blizzard, full wind and stuff like that. When they know it's snowing, or like there's the chance of black ice or stuff like that, why they don't just keep the plows non-stop on the road? Why? I don't, like in Europe they do that. Again, maybe it's a money issue, maybe the government needs to pay the companies, the private companies more, or the private companies are cheap. I do not know, but it's just stupid. In the winter between BC and Alberta, shitloads every winter of accidents. I don't know, maybe 70% of them because of driver error. I do not know. I haven't been in those, thank God. But at some point, I think a number of those accidents could have been prevented if the road conditions would have been okay-ish. Again, maybe it's a money issue. I do not know. I'm just saying that I dislike this very much in my experience in the 5 years that I've been doing Canada and America. I don't know. It's just bad. And those are the 5 things. But maybe another one that I will add, and again, maybe I'm a little bit, how a friend of mine likes to call it, hypocrisia. Because when I arrived in 2018, I got my Class 1 license because I already had history and stuff like that very quickly. Like on 18th of May, I arrived in Canada. Tuesday, 22nd, I gave my theory exam for class 5 because I still needed to do that, but because I had prior experience in Europe, I didn't have to do like a class 5 city road. Then the same day I went to the driving school. I said I don't need any lessons. That was a little bit cocky of me. I just need to go to rent for the exam itself because I knew I was coming to Canada, so I learned the pre-trip. I watched videos. So I was feeling prepared. I did, I think, a full lessons of 4 hours, and then went straight to the exam. And by June, I had the yellow paper from BC. Again, that benefited me a lot because I could go straight to work and didn't spend a lot of money. And then my wife also, she did really fast. My wife, she's a truck driver also. But, and I do not know how it is now. The two things that kind of surprised me is that, like, and I have nothing against those people. It's a job, and I'm not criticizing them. It's like the test people, the inspectors, or whatever you want to call them, at least the ones I had, never drove a truck. I'm like, what do you mean you never drove a truck? I never drove a truck. I have some points that I look on this table and I see if you drive good or not. And in theory, every truck driver out there should know, like, you sit on the right, like on the passenger seat, and you look at a guy for 5, 10, 15 minutes, half an hour, and you can kind of figure out, okay, he's good, he's bad, he likes it, he doesn't like it. But you see that when you have the experience of being a driver. When you never driven a truck, you say, yeah, this guy passes, because he signaled when he should have signaled, and he did like the 15 minutes or 1 hour of driving. That's like, whoa, no. And I don't know how, because I heard now it's very expensive everywhere and it takes a lot longer. It should take a lot longer to get a class 1, so you become a proper driver, but it should not be a lot more expensive. Like, I heard $20,000. I was like, what? No, that's way too much. So, because if it's that much, then people with the incentive for the companies to get LMIA like myself will be bigger, because the shortage, if there is one, of truckers will be bigger, because the new truckers will not be able to pay 20 grand to do the license. So it should be longer. Like, you should drive, especially if you're doing a license in Canada, you should do like winter driving. Okay, if you're in BC, you should have, like, I don't know, 20 hours on the coke or 10 hours on the coke and put 5 times chains, something like that. I don't know. Do night driving in snow. I presume the insurance for that will be like sky high, because like the risk is sky high, but at least you get people acquainted with that scenario, so they're like better. I do not know. I think the system could be improved a lot. I don't know. I don't have the solution, but I said that, like, coming from Europe, it can be a lot better, definitely. So, yeah, kind of those are my rants from 5 years in North America, and 5-ish things that I don't like. Next, maybe I'll do 5 things that I like, because there is a lot of stuff that I like here. A lot of stuff. So, hopefully, we'll see you in the next one. Safe roads to everybody. Bye-bye, bye-bye.